Hi and welcome to Cyber Insurance in Under 5 Minutes, one of our short introductions to insurance on complex subjects where we demystify the jargon for you. In April of 2020, when COVID was raging and hospitals were almost having people queuing up to be admitted, a hospital found all the screens that everybody used in the hospital and all of the systems had stopped. And on every screen was just a little message saying, if you pay this rather huge amount of Bitcoin to this account, that they'd unlock the screens. And the hospital had no choice other than to make that payment in order to carry on working. And that story probably doesn't shock you that much because you see about it in fiction on television, you see about it in reality in the newspapers, and people have been trying to shock you with cyber insurance stories for ages. And you already know that the criminals out there aren't sitting there trying to get into your machine. They've got computers that do that, that are working at 1 million different passwords every minute that they can try to get into your machine. And only once they get in do the criminals then take over and see if there's something to do when they get there and something that's worthwhile. And you know that you don't really have a huge computer department yourself anymore. You outsource your operating system probably to one group. You keep all of your information in the cloud, which you outsource to somebody to host that for you as well. But in the back of your mind, you know that they could get breached and that people could get to you that way as well. And you also know that you make mistakes yourself. You send emails to the wrong people, you can press the wrong button, and that either you or somebody in your own organization at some stage could cause your systems to be down. So where does insurance come into this, and what's cyber insurance about? Well, it's about 4 things. Firstly, and to my mind most importantly, this nearly always happens on a Friday night or Saturday morning, and it gives you somebody to phone. And that person who you phone, provided by the cyber insurance policy, will find for you a forensic expert who can tell you what's going on. It will help you, perhaps, if you've got to contact your customers, draft the messages. It'll get a lawyer involved in the fact that you'll almost undoubtedly have to do a notification to the ICO, and you might have to do something for PCI. And it'll even provide you with a Bitcoin account from which funds can be transferred in order to pay the Bitcoin ransom to release things, because most of you won't have your own Bitcoin account. So that's the first thing, is that emergency response, a bit like when you phone for roadside rescue when your car breaks down. There's somebody there to help you deal with it. Secondly, the policy will provide the money to pay for all these things. It will pay for the ransom. It'll additionally, if you have to, perhaps for all of your customers, have credit monitoring for them for a year, it'll pay for that service. And it will also pay for any business that you've lost. You might be an online business that needs to be online to sell, and you might lose sales as a result of being down. So all of those costs of your own are covered under the second element of the policy. The third element of the policy is that your customers, clients, patients, whoever's data that you have that's been breached and been accessed from the outside, those people might sue you either now or at some stage in the future for the result of the fact that you allowed data that you should have kept safe out there, and they could be sued. And the policy will cover you for the costs of defending that claim, and if you're liable for making payments to those people. And then the fourth element is an additional part that you can find in some policies, but not in all policies. And that's an extension to the policy that covers you if you send, or some of your staff send money to somebody who you shouldn't have sent it to, pretending to be someone else. And this is sometimes called a phishing extension or a social engineering extension. And I'm sure every one of you knows somebody who's suffered from that already. So that's it really. You already know that there are people out there, or that you yourself can cause a problem with your IT systems. And now you know that a cyber insurance policy will hold your hand through the potential nightmare and mop up a lot of the costs that you might pick up with it as well. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you need to know more, then please contact us.